Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of Master Detective Archives Raid Code, running on Nintendo Switch.
Get it? Since the wound ran parallel to the roof, the shooter must have been at the same height.
Well, it could be that the victim's head was at an angle at the time of impact. But in that case, we would have found the bullet lodged in the roof.
The monster conjures falsehoods to impede our progress.
But it's strange that they insist it was a homicide. If I'm not the culprit, it'd make more sense to rule it as a suicide.
That's because it is one. They're insisting it's a homicide to cover it up. So you finally revealed your true nature, God of Darkness? Huh? Yuma, do not be swayed by this deceiver. This case is most assuredly a homicide. Assuredly? And what are you basing that on? The victim carried a gun, did he not? If so, he could have used it to combat the peacekeepers pursuing him. And yet, he hastily turned the gun on himself. I do not believe the victim was so cornered that he would commit suicide. That actually makes sense.
That's a good point. Even if he wanted to avoid using his gun, he could have at least used it to threaten them.
So it must be a homicide. No! Suicide! Homicide! Suicide!
Well, it's definitely homicide. He's left-handed. Yes.
There are two doors?
Huh?
Because he was left-handed, they found the gun in his right hand.
Written in blood. Does Yuma's blood contain holy powers? And it illuminates this cursed labyrinth? Yuma, you are more than the warrior of light. You are the holy warrior of light.
Sure, that's fine. Let's focus on this problem. Is this a suicide or a homicide? We need to narrow it down, now.
It is clearly a homicide. Nuh-uh! It's totally a suicide!
Right here! I'm sure this is the right way.
I knew it! This case had to be a homicide. If it was a homicide, someone else had to have been on the roof, right? But Master, you were on the emergency stairwell, and the peacekeepers were behind the door. Which means no one could have gotten off that roof. How did the culprit shoot the victim and get away? See? If it wasn't a suicide, then what happened? You'd better explain yourself. Very well, I shall. I completely agree with what Yuma said.
I didn't say anything.
So what do you think, Master?
You mean why I think it's a homicide? I don't really have a solid reason why yet. We're trapped!
Oh no! The walls!
What's the reason behind it being a suicide?
Come on, spit it out. The mystery labyrinth won't wait forever, you know.
I know, but
Yuma!
if it was in fact a homicide, there would be some clue left behind at the crime scene. If I can just remember something.
Oh, like this? Here, this is everything left at the scene. This should be easy mode. I made sure to pull everything straight out of your memory, Master.
I'm sure there's a clue pointing to a homicide hidden here.
We do not have much time. Please hurry, Yuma.
There must be something suspicious, something that stands out. There has to be a clue. I have to find it. I know, it's this! This has to be related to the murder.
Oh, the wall stopped. Looks like it's the right one.
That is the gun that fired the fatal shot, right? But how can you determine it was a homicide?
There's something unique about this gun. A revolver cylinder normally swings out to the left, but the gun found at the scene swings out to the right.
I see. That is unusual. It is incredible how you even noticed it. You really are the holy great detective warrior of light, Yuma.
It got even longer. Oh well, anyway. This gun was apparently custom made for Shachi.
The junk shop geezer said that too. How does that prove this was a homicide?
I don't know anything else about it. I just figured this was kinda out of place. It's happening again?
Of course. You haven't solved the mystery itself.
Yuma, over there! Could you try shooting it with the gun?
I'm no marksman. Oh, but it could work inside the mystery labyrinth. If this gun is the answer... Huh? It's not loaded?
If you can't shoot it, then you're still missing something.
Something? Do you mean like why I think this gun is out of place? I can't shoot the gun until I figure that out?
Will, Yuma? Did you solve it?
Why was Shachi's gun built like this in the first place?
He's left-handed.
The reason why must be relevant.
Are you saying you need my help to solve this? Oh, fun. Since you're so good at begging, I don't mind helping you out one bit. Here we go! Lay it all out! Are you ready to play the Shinigami puzzle? Nice!
I mean, it's so obvious. Is there anybody that wouldn't get this?
Go, go, go!
I do think they're trying to give you that cheesecake of her, but it's a very conservative swimsuit. It's like nobody would bat an eye on that particular style of swimsuit.
That's it! It's because he was left-handed! The reason the cylinder swings out to the right is to let him reload while still holding the gun in his left hand. If he was right-handed, it would be very difficult to reload if the cylinder swings out to the right. If Shachi was right-handed, he wouldn't have commissioned his gun to be designed this way. Which means Shachi is left-handed.
Look! The exit! You did it, Yuma!
Oh, it worked.
All thanks to yours truly. No, it is thanks to Yuma's deduction.
What? But we'd all be flattened by now if it wasn't for my assist.
I will never believe the God of Darkness could willingly lend a helping hand.
Sure, say what you want. Anyway, let's hurry. Countdown is still going.
I don't know why I put my coffee so far away. What the hell was I thinking?
Right. It looks like the number's gone down by a lot.
We were so close to figuring out this mystery. Let's hurry it up, Master.
Yeah, got it.
Look! Another monster!
Alrighty, we're here as your official roadblock. Huh? You wanna know why? Because the homicide route ends here. That Shachi terrorist committed suicide. After all. Right, Dominic?
You kept insisting it was a homicide earlier, but now you're going with the suicide theory?
These monsters are cheaters!
Maybe they're cheaters because they're monsters.
Are you defending the monsters? Curse you, God of Darkness! Queen of monsters!
I'm not defending them. I can't even follow this whole monsters and God of Darkness story you have going.
Now's not the time to be fighting!
Bad luck! Looks like it's a dead end! You can't proceed! Because it wasn't a homicide! Shachi definitely committed suicide! Why don't you just give up? Master!
Oh, okay. I thought there was like a bunch of reasoning somewhere. Alright, never mind.
Bad luck! Looks like it's a dead end! You can't proceed! Because it wasn't a homicide! Shachi definitely committed suicide!
That claim doesn't hold up! No! Shachi didn't commit suicide! All the evidence points to the contrary!
You know you're super annoying, right? Fine. I'll crush you like a bug! So what if the gun was designed for the left?
Sasha's body was found. There was an explosion in the parking lot below the building. Sasha attended. Exterior lock opened. An exterior lock that opened from the roof side. The key was in the keyhole.
Left hand. You can still shoot yourself. Shachi shot himself with a gun in his dominant hand.
This is the truth! Shachi was left-handed, but he was found dead with the gun in his right hand. There's no reason he'd use his non-dominant hand to commit suicide. It's an obvious contradiction. When the culprit tried to make it appear like a suicide, they put the gun in the wrong hand. Which means someone else was involved in Shachi's death. His death was a setup. It's a homicide.
You managed once again to slay the monsters. That confirms it. The homicide route was the correct one.
Seems like it. I guess I can admit defeat here.
Huh? The God of Darkness admitting defeat? Perhaps she has an honest side. No! It cannot be! Could this be an illusion she conjured forth?
You know, I don't really care, so long as we keep solving mysteries. Just keep helping my master out for a bit longer.
Let's carry on for now.
The culprit made a pretty cliché mistake getting the victim's dominant hand wrong.
Perhaps the culprit doesn't know that Shachi's custom gun was designed for someone left-handed. Shachi rarely carried his gun, so they probably never saw him hold it.
Huh. Why would he go through the trouble of getting a custom gun that he never intended to use? Deep down, do you think he was just like any other violent terrorist?
Maybe the gun was a gift.
A gift? From whom?
A woman named Iruka manages the Resistance's weapons. She was the one who designed it.
Gifting a gun is so romantic. It delights my adventurer's heart.
It does?
Well, thanks to the culprit's mistake, we now know this was a homicide. But we still have a lot of unanswered questions.
Where did the culprit shoot the victim from?
The location where the culprit shot Shachi.
Location, the culprit shot Shachi.
Yep. Even if this case is a homicide, that's still a mystery.
But if you know it was, in fact, a homicide, then the answer has to be here. I have no idea what it could be, but I am confident that you can discover the answer. For you are he who tames the God of Darkness, holy great detective warrior Light Yuma.
How long is my name going to get?
Oh, that's right. It's forward to accelerate.
Right here!
was the right answer, but... If he was shot on the roof, doesn't that mean the culprit was also on the roof?
The culprit placed the gun in Shachi's hand to make it look like a suicide. That means they had to be there in person. The culprit was definitely on that roof.
Okay, so it won't let you go there. I'm like, yeah.
But Yuma, you said nobody was there when you arrived.
That's what we have to figure out now. When I heard the shot, I was halfway up the emergency stairs. It took about 10 seconds to reach the roof. And in that time, the culprit vanished like a cloud of smoke from the scene.
Where could the murderer have gone?
Well, they used the explosion somehow to get away.
This is...
We're back at the crime scene.
Follow the culprit's escape route?
You need to escape in the same way the culprit did after committing the crime.
Though it is fairly high, would it not be possible to climb down from here on a rope or ladder?
There's nowhere to hang something like that onto. Plus, from this height, it'd take a while to get all the way down like that. It'd be tough for someone to get down and gather their equipment in the short time it took me to reach the roof.
You probably couldn't jump down onto a mat from this height either. You'd die no matter how you landed.
Is it easier to imagine using a rope or some other tool to escape to the neighboring building? Or perhaps they used a hot air balloon? The culprit must be quite the adventurous thrill-seeker.
But those high voltage lines would get in the way. You'd never reach the next building without touching them.
Oh, so the culprit is not an adventurer?
That's what you're disappointed about?
Is it easier to imagine that the criminals simply went back inside through this door?
No, that's impossible. At the time of the incident, the peacekeepers were on the other side of it.
I see. If the culprit had gone inside through here, they would have been apprehended by those peacekeepers.
Well, it's safe to say this wasn't the escape route.
Ah, so the culprit escaped via the emergency stairs. As the culprit was in a state of emergency, it is only natural that they would make use of emergency stairs.
Wait. Master was up ahead, right? There's no way the culprit could have escaped without bumping into him.
What are you saying? Yuma is right here, is he not?
I mean, when the crime happened. Jeez, this sheltered skank and her empty head are killing me here.
Yet again! You called me sheltered!
Hey, I'm just telling it like it is.
Sheltered
Their
this,
head
sheltered that!
perverted.
I don't know if the culprit realized I was there. The footage from the security camera positioned here didn't show anybody around. Which makes it hard to imagine if the culprit escaped from here.
Yuma, this is bad. We have reviewed all the possible escape routes.
And yet, we can't figure out how the culprit got off the rooftop.
Hysterical.
This isn't funny! At this rate, we'll run out of time!
What are we supposed to do?
There's no other way besides finding the culprit's escape route. That's how it is in the Mystery Labyrinth.
Where are the entrances for cast members and the hidden entryways for maintenance crews?
This isn't an attraction at some theme park.
Well then, why do you hunt Yuma if you cannot even do your job and guide him? A god of darkness who cannot guide you is just a directionless god of darkness.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You're a stupid, sheltered skank that's completely useless.
You called me sheltered again! How many times is that now? Let's see. After the number 3 comes...
Seriously,
Be quiet, please!
head on right now. Are you gonna start being used?
The culprit must have been on their roof when they committed the crime. They escaped somehow. But how? There aren't any other clues at the crime scene. Wait, if nothing was there, what if the culprit destroyed evidence?
What? Destroyed evidence? Then leave it to yours truly. I'll wring it out of your mind, Master.
You're going to recreate the crime scene again?
If you don't remember it, then I've got no choice. I'll make it a gentle beating this time around. So, which memory do you want beaten out of you?
When the body was first entered, I guess? Or rooftops
How
first entered?
about when Shachi first called me up to the rooftop? The culprit wouldn't have done anything to the scene yet. I can even compare it to when I found the corpse.
Alrighty, leave it to me.
What is this daunting aura I sense? What are your intentions here?
Let's do it, Master!
It can't be!
Wait!
Are you alright, Yuma?
I'm in so much pain. I feel like I'm gonna pass out.
The corpse is gone, but nothing else has really changed about this place. I believe all that happened was you were assaulted, Yuma.
Not much time passed between when you first reached the rooftop and when you discovered the corpse. If nothing changed, then there are no clues here for you to use.
Hang on. There must be something. Something that the culprit destroyed to cover their tracks.
I wrenched this memory out of your tiny brain, so you don't have much time left to look around. Your time limit is until the pain in your head goes away. You better hurry up and investigate.
Got it. I'll hurry.
Crime scene recreation.
It seems like there's no place to hang a rope off of. There's nothing of note on this side of the wall. What is that? A storm drain? Has that always been there? Oh right, the explosion. The explosion that happened right after I found the body must have buried it in rubble. So the drain was covered after a mysterious explosion.
Find anything, Master?
Yeah, I might have found a clue that shows how the culprit escaped.
Really? You did it, Yuma!
Mystery phantoms!
Chirp, 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 chirp. I was curious what all the tweeting was about. You're still fantasizing about all this nonsense? He committed suicide! There's nobody to pursue! After all, there's no place a culprit could run to. No one can run off a rooftop.
No one could escape the rooftop.
Which means if you can disprove that, then we'll defeat them and press forward.
Yeah, here I'm not so sure. I mean, maybe they destroyed the escape ladder that was there. Might have been one there too.
What's with these weirdo fantasies? I'm saying Shachi committed suicide. You're such a maggot. There is no other culprit. No one could have left that rooftop.
That claim doesn't hold up! No, there is a culprit! There's a way to escape from the roof, too!
Ugh, such a drag. You're still talking about that? What a downer!
The culprit had to be on the roof if it's not suicide. So, where did the culprit go? You can't escape through the roof's door. You can't escape down the emergency stairs. Or was the culprit on the roof the whole time? Oh, impossible! There's simply no place to run.
I'll slash through this mystery! No, there is a way out. The drain directly below the rooftop.
Don't let any shady statement slip by.
Mystery Phantoms will ask a riddle from time to time. Read the question carefully and counter by repelling the words of the answer you think is right. Well, the answer you think is right.
The drain? What about it? What's that got to do with gleam from the roof? How did the culprit escape? Go ahead and try answering that.
This, I'll expose the truth! That's right! The culprit dove into the drain from the roof! That was the culprit's escape route!
They disappeared, but to leap into a storm drain from atop a roof? Is such an adventurous stunt truly possible?
I wasn't sure about that as well. But if the explosion was used to destroy evidence, I think that has to be the case. The culprit opened the storm drain's grates beforehand and jumped from the roof right after committing the crime. The Doya district was flooded, so naturally the drain would have been filled with water. Then, the culprit swam away.
It would only take a few seconds to escape the roof that way. So the culprit used a bomb to blow up the area, which covered up the evidence of their escape.
Why? We defeated these monsters already!
The problem here was follow the culprit's escape route.
So we have to leap into the drain just like the culprit did?
I have to jump from up here? And now more drains have suddenly appeared! What is happening?
Master, you have to make up your mind and jump!
No, I don't! I'm already falling! This way!
Resistance leader, yeah. Or one of the leaders. Whatever his name was, I can't remember.
We actually made it.
I felt as if my heart would jump out of my chest, but we managed to get down.
It's not over yet. Look over there!
So everybody's guilty except for the old guy?
Looks like all the suspects are here!
Must we fight all of them? Even Yuma cannot face 4 foes at once. They fled!
We better chase after them!
Yeah, all the conspirators
Jason's
are
are
wearing
causing
blue.
adventures. But are you certain the culprit is among them?
There are only 2 ways the culprit could get a hold of Shachi's gun, the murder weapon. Either steal it from the safe or get it from Shachi himself. In any case, the only ones who could have done it are members of the Resistance.
Is it possible the culprit took the victim's gun by force? If so, a complete stranger could have done it.
But if someone tried to take his gun, I'm sure Shachi would have drawn it and threatened them. If so, the culprit would have realized their target was left-handed.
I see. That would conflict with the cover-up attempted at the crime scene.
Also, the culprit issued a proclamation on behalf of the Resistance against the Peacekeepers. At the time, I didn't understand why it was sent to the Peacekeepers. But it must have been to corner Shachi by steering the Peacekeepers toward the hideout. The culprit then ambushed him when he arrived on the roof.
Which means the culprit anticipated the target fleeing up there.
Perhaps it was a planned escape route the Resistance had decided on beforehand. If they fled using the emergency stairs, it would be easy to shake off pursuers. As a matter of fact, the Peacekeepers were held up there. If he hadn't been killed, he would have escaped.
So all of it was calculated. Whoever it is, they are truly frightening. And that culprit is among them?
If we organize all the clues we've got so far, we can narrow down who the culprit is.
But how long will they keep running? At this rate, there's no end in sight.
Faster! Over there!
A giant water tank?
In here, you always find the culprit if you keep solving mysteries. So the only way to catch up to them is to solve mysteries.
Huh?
What would be necessary for the culprit to commit the crime?
Come on! I'm counting on you, Master!
Got it!
Be a good swimmer? Yeah, I mean, there's more than one accomplice.
In order to commit this crime, the most important requirement is to be an excellent swimmer. Jumping from that height into a storm drain would also require training and experience. Maybe they had high diving experience through swimming competitions.
We finally caught up!
The truth is crystal clear. The one who murdered Shachi...
Who killed Shachi? Oh, this guy.
I wouldn't kill anyone!
I didn't kill anyone!
It's you, Icardi! You took advantage of your swimming skills to murder Shachi!
Huh? What? No! That's insane! I'm not the culprit! That's bullshit! I didn't kill Shachi! I'm not the culprit!
Such a foreboding presence. Is this the true identity of the final monster protecting the hidden treasure?
But most of the mystery has already been solved. This is just its last stand. Master, let's solve this thing once and for all!
Right!
But the other members helped him. I mean, it wasn't him alone. They even have the other members in like the same color tones as him. I mean, that's just one part of the mystery, is who killed Sachi. The other co-conspirators sent the message and provided evidence to the police. What is this? Servan's traumatic experience. Servan once nearly drowned in an irrigation channel. Morgan, security footage from Morgan's shop. He was talking to a customer at the time of his crime. Yurika's talent. She used to be a competitive shooter. She and Sachov trained. So this is probably this one? It can't be Servan, because he's afraid of
I'm
water.
not the culprit! Where's your evidence? There are other resistance members! I know! Margala is the culprit! Margala shot Shachi on the roof!
Margala has an alibi.
This is the truth! Margala has an alibi! It's impossible for him to have done it!
It's Cardi's talent. Competitive swimmer, right.
It's not Margala! Then Iruka is the culprit! Iruka knows a lot about him!
Such as gun specially designed and assembled by Iruka.
Handling guns. She killed Shachi! And made it look like suicide!
For now,
Yes, you gotta prove Iruka isn't the culprit, but she doesn't have an alibi.
That's why...
Yeah, we have to approach this differently from how we handled Margala. Yeah, check the evidence for something that can help. I was trying to blame her.
If it's not Margala, Then Iruka is the culprit. Iruka knows a lot about handling guns. She killed Shachi!
Say,
That's right.
If it's not Margot, then Iruka is the culprit.
Oh, I didn't know a word there. I didn't see that.
Iruka knows a lot about handling guns. She killed Shachi! And made it look like suicide!
I'll slash through this mystery. Iruka designed the handgun, so she knew Shachi was left-handed. She never would have made that mistake faking a suicide.
It's not Margot. It's not Iruka. But you still can't say I'm the culprit.
Let's see. So that's gonna be this one, I would
The
guess.
culprit is Servan! He killed Shachi on the roof. And messed with the corpse. Then escaped through the drain!
This is the truth. Servan was traumatized after once nearly drowning, so there's no way he would have dove into a drain.
But Servan is definitely guilty of framing us.
Yuma, you did it! You defeated the monster! Huh? But what about the treasure?
that's strange. We found the culprit and also cut down his excuses. But the truth still hasn't appeared! Where is the real culprit's soul?
Also, the countdown hasn't stopped yet. It went down by a lot again.
Perhaps there is a secret final boss in this labyrinth? Wait, I know. It's...
Stop. If anything, I'm the secret protagonist.
Moving on. This means we haven't revealed the truth of this mystery labyrinth. Maybe it's because we don't have a solid overall picture of the case.
the overall picture?
There's no mistake that Ikari made Shachi's murder look like a suicide. But we don't know why he did it. If he wanted to kill him, there are simpler ways to do it. Why bring the Peacekeepers into this?
So we need to find the motive. As long as that's an unknown, we won't reach the truth.
Hmm? The water is flowing somewhere.
Oh, so it is. I wonder where it is heading.
The water flows somewhere. If the Mystery Labyrinth is a reflection of reality, the flow of water may have some significance.
Then let's see where it leads us. This could be the path to the hidden treasure.
You know, this case seems to involve water an awful lot. The slums where the crime took place are flooded, like the entire commercial area.
Right. Given that, the truth should be wherever the water leads.
Okay, but it did save, so why don't we stop it there? This is Audap. You've been watching Master Detective Archives, Raincode, running on Nintendo Switch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.